When you receive a cease and desist letter, make sure you review it with a lawyer to understand what your rights and responsibilities are. Make sure you don't wait and do nothing, because many times it will result in a lawsuit against you. But if you handle it correctly and in the right way, you can prevent a lawsuit from ever being filed. As an example, a client came to my office who was an influencer who was just starting out in the space, and he received a cease and desist letter from a bigger influencer who had similar content to his content. And he was shooting this content, and the influencer and her lawyer didn't want him continuing to shoot this kind of content. And they told him if he didn't stop, they were going to sue him. So he came to my office, he hired my firm to assist him with this, and we drafted a letter addressing their points and showing them why they were wrong. And if they did file a lawsuit, why they would lose and why my client would be in a position to sue them for abusive process and for malicious prosecution. Ultimately, the other side backed off. They never filed the lawsuit. We never heard from them again. And my client went on to become one of the biggest influencers on Instagram in this space. But when he came to me, he was obviously terrified and he was concerned about potentially being sued, and he was concerned about making sure he was doing things the right way. So make sure you don't just ignore a cease and desist letter when you get it. Make sure you review it with somebody who can tell you what your rights and responsibilities are, and who don't just tell you, well, if you got a cease and desist letter, you just have to stop. Because you want to make sure that they're not trying to undermine you or your business and trying to get you to not do something that you're entitled to do. Because when you get a cease and desist letter, you want to make sure that the other side who sent you that cease and desist letter isn't just trying to get you to stop doing the things that you're doing because it would be advantageous to the other side. Said differently, if your competitor sends you a cease and desist letter trying to get you to stop doing the things, trying to get themselves to win by default, you want to make sure you're setting yourself up for the best chances of success as possible. And the best way to do that is to make sure you understand your rights and that you don't just stop because you got a cease and desist letter. Now, of course, there may be certain circumstances under which a cease and desist letter may have some valid points. And again, this is why you want to review it with an expert, because you want to make sure you know what the law is and how it applies to your situation. If you have more questions about this, contact me. My team and I are happy to help you. And if you found this content helpful, make sure you like and subscribe for more useful content.